Hey everybody, Will with Strong Turf here. We are gearing up for the 2025 mowing season and I am just itching to get back at it. It's all I've been thinking about all winter. This winter in Kansas City was pretty brutal. We got 13, 14 inches of snow one day. Yeah, it was pretty rough. I'm just getting back from my winter job, so I figured I'd jump on here. I was lucky enough to have a spot open for me at the old company I worked for, and then I left to start my mowing business, and they needed somebody for the winter time, so I've been working on hot tubs. If you're in the Kansas City area and you need a hot tub, a sauna, a swimming pool, even an ice bath, they've got those. So check out Recreation Wholesale if you're in the area. They're based out of Lee Summit. But yeah, I'm going to go through my top 5 mistakes that I made in my first couple years being in business. I'm going into year, I'd say 3.5. Did like half a year, like part-time, I guess you would say. And then full-time 2 years. This is my third full-time year. And I've set some goals for this year, things that I want to work on, and I think it would be good to review some mistakes. I've always been told a smart man learns from his own mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So let's get into that. I've been told in the comments I need to stop yapping and just get to it. So I'm drawing this out a little bit for everybody that commented that on the last one. So here we go. So the first thing I want to touch on is routes. When you're planning your routes and your schedule for the season. When I first started, I would try too hard to put everybody on the day that they requested. Now, not everybody requests a certain day, but there's going to be customers that want their yard cut on Friday. I'm sorry, everybody wants their yard cut on Friday. If I'm in your area on Wednesday, it's going to have to be Wednesday. I'm really focusing this year on rebuilding my entire schedule. So that for this year, I'm planning on working 4 days, Monday through Thursday, and then have Friday as a catch-up day or maintenance or whatever. And so I plotted every single address I have on a map, plotted every single address in my entire system, and divided them into 4. It kind of went like this down the map, and it goes bink, 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 bink. Not trying to take a customer that wants their yard cut on, say, Thursday and build the Thursday schedule around that. Just across the board, going 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the days. So you'll have to bear with me for my second item today. It's pricing your jobs. So when I first started, I priced every little cookie cutter, the simplest of lawns. I priced it at $35 across the board. And that did allow me to pick up a lot of customers last year. I almost doubled my entire client base last year just by being the $35 guy. Now this year, I'm upping everything to $40 and $45 and so on. I've got a couple 60s in there. But I should have started everything at, $45 minimum. And then this year I could increase them to 50. Should have started them at 40 and then I can increase them to 45 this year. But this year the minimum is $40, and I guarantee I'm going to get 100 comments saying, I don't even drop my trailer gate for less than $80. So that's fine for you, buddy. Go for it. But in my opinion, if you have more clients and you charge $40, $45 a lawn, and you have 80 yards compared to somebody that charges 80 and they do 20 lawns in a week, that's more people that can refer you landscaping jobs and more people you can upsell things to. I think it's a better thing to have more clients under your umbrella rather than having a few that are high paying. Next item on the list should be pretty straightforward, but it's stripes or striping customer's lawn. Your customer does not care about your stripes. Granted, every once in a while you will get a customer that texts you out of the blue and says, hey, I noticed the lawn looks really good this week. Thank you so much. That's great to hear. But 99% of your customers are not going to notice if your line is a little bit crooked or the tire marks are just a little bit uneven. When I first started, I spent way too much time going over a lawn a second time for no reason, just to make the stripes pop a little more or just make the tire marks more even. If the lawn is cut, the lawn is cut. There's no reason to go over the lawn a second time just to make the stripes pop a little more. Granted, every once in a while you want some material for an Instagram post and you want to do it up a little extra just so you can post it on Facebook. That's fine. But most people are not going to notice, and you're going to spend a lot of extra time just trying to make it look perfect. I promise you, it does not matter. I have to go back and address that, because I'm going to get 100 comments saying, oh, you should treat every lawn like it's your own. You should be making it look perfect each time. Obviously, you should do a good job. Obviously, you should do your best. Obviously, you should do everything that's in the scope of your work. What I'm saying is, don't just waste time for something that's going to go unnoticed. Obviously, cut the entire lawn. Obviously, weed eat around everything. Obviously, don't leave big chunks of grass that are not cut, or clumps of grass that are just baled up in the yard. Obviously, don't do that. But if there's no reason to go over a lawn a second time, don't do it. So the other thing that goes into the pricing of your lawns is upselling your customers. Like I was talking about, the more customers you have, the more you can upsell. I did not do a great job last year of upselling, and that's one of my mistakes from last year. Is I could have been going around, or not going around, but texting every customer every 3 months and saying, hey, I noticed your bushes in the backyard are getting a little shaggy. They're covering the windows. I'm going around next week and I'm doing a round of fertilizer. Could I add you to my list? That type of thing is what I did not do a great job of last year. And you can significantly boost your profits by doing little things like that. Just texting customers and asking them for jobs. So the fifth and final thing I want to touch on is paying yourself enough to prove your income for when you need to buy a house, when you need to get a personal loan or finance really anything. I mean, there's going to be some Dave Ramsey's in the comments that say, don't finance anything. You should be paying yourself a healthy paycheck and paying taxes on it. And the other thing that goes hand in hand with that is saving enough for the winter time to make you through the winter. I mean, everybody talks about it. It's not some crazy idea to save your money for the winter time, but that's something I didn't do a great job of in the first couple of years. You should be saving enough to get going in the springtime. Even if your business has been established for a few years, you're still going to have startup costs in the springtime. You're still going to have gas to pay for. If you do spring cleanups, you're still going to have dump fees. And most of this is stuff that has to get paid before you even get paid from the customer. So make sure you have a healthy fund set aside for anything that can come up in the winter. And basically that means during the summer, when you're making a whole boatload of money going out and mowing lawns, not living like you make $100 an hour. Because when you average it out over the entire year, you do not make that entire amount of money for 12 months. So that needs to be taken into account. And like many other people, that's something I did not do a great job of. All right, so that's everything. That's the top 5 mistakes that I made in my first couple years. Hopefully 2025 goes a lot better. Let me know in the comments when you are getting your mowing season started. And I think we're going to start probably the first week of April. Usually I start the last week of March, but I don't know. We'll just kind of see what the weather does. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and appreciate the support, and have a good one.